Well, this is perhaps the biggest model aircraft you can buy easily. This is the Skymaster F14 XL aircraft, and as you can tell by the boxes, it definitely suits its name. It is huge. This box is like 8.5 feet long, 4.5 feet wide. It is massive, and we are gonna unbox this thing. I'm really excited for this project. We've been waiting a long time for it, so let's dive in. All right, so we've got the wings in this box, we've got the nose in this box, and we've got the fuselage, or main part of the fuselage, in the massive box. So we're gonna start off with the wing box, then go to the nose box, and then go to the massive box. So let's do the wings first. All right, so wings are very nicely encased in foam. So once we get the wings out here, I think it's pretty much going to determine the scheme or tell you guys the scheme of the aircraft. Maybe not, because the F14, the verticals are pretty much the telltale. Okay, so in the wing box is just the wings. Wow. Those look really nice. Just going to confirm. So we're just going to pull the wings out, and we'll put all the stuffing back in there. That looks really cool. So let's pop these wings open and take a close look. Now, pretty much everything about this plane should basically be just an upscaled version of the one we built a couple years ago here on the channel. But the sheer size of this project is nuts. It's easy to look up a project like this and say, oh yeah, it's 14 feet long or whatever, and you know, but once you actually see it in person or pace it out, that changes everything. Wow. So there we go, there's all the detail. So just as functional as the original one that we did, the smaller one. So we've got slats, functioning slats that open up. So 1, 2, 3, the entire flapper-on surface or flap surface, leading edge as well. Just beautiful. What a cool scheme. So this is some of the stuff I was curious about is the operation of these items too, because you've got such a larger surface area. What are we actually using to operate? So I think just a pure guess here, I think our leading edge uses 2 servos. Our flap is going to use 1 servo, and our spoilers, which is the top of the wing, uses 1 servo. So this is our flap servo because it's got the same mechanism as the smaller aircraft. It's got an arm that comes through and turns, and then this should be our slat servo, I think, yeah. Anyways, haven't really done any detail work on that, but that looks outstanding. So nice. So first glance here, it doesn't look like there's a lighting kit installed. Maybe there is. Oh yeah, it looks like looks like that's a lens. There should be a lighting kit installed. Yep, so we got lights in there as well. And you can see our plug-in rods there, huge carbon rods, solid as well, and a smaller one. So this plugs into the wing mechanism, which is a huge hunk of aluminum, and these open and close. Outstanding. Okay, so we'll open up the second wing. Obviously it's a match to the other one, but we want to inspect it and take a look at it. All right, and everything matches up nicely. Same level of detail. Now the other cool thing about this aircraft is there's been so few of these made that the molds and everything are still really nice and deep and accurate. So when you look at all the rivet details, they're very pronounced and detailed. As a mold gets used, those details typically start to disappear. So just beautiful. Okay, so next thing we're going to open up is the nose section and whatever else happens to be in here. The nose section is huge, all relative, of course, to the actual size of the aircraft. I suspect there's going to be some other parts floating around in this box. Okay, so we've got our standard air tank set up. We've got all of our hardware bits and bytes. We'll open all those up and take a closer look at them. Okay, and everything's very well packaged. Some people generally knock the Skymaster packaging, but their cardboard is really thick. Everything's packaged well in there, and as long as you don't get forks puncturing the box, everything usually stays well intact. All right, so we'll take the foam off the nose here, or the bubble wrap off the nose. All right, wow. So that is massive. Oh my gosh. All right, so we'll give you guys a shot in the guts there. Really nice looking. Just looking at the cockpit, it looks like they did a whole bunch of lightning holes. I think you can see them from that side as well. So the cockpit's all drilled out, and in an effort to save as much weight as possible, we'll take a look in the nose section here. Holy crap, that gear is monstrous. Here's the shot in the nose. That is outstanding. Very nice. Very nice. So good looking cockpit, everything's nice and detailed. We've got the lock system already installed in there. Our air cylinder for the our operating canopies all installed. So all pretty typical Skymaster stuff. The formers in the front here, we'll get into this of course in the build, but looks like we've got Eric's laminated carbon, which is very cool. Quick release canopy. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so just taking a quick look through the hardware here. This is kind of the standard Skymaster stuff, but some of it's always model specific. So like these rods as an example, very, very thick rods. So these they look like 440 threads, but huge, chunky rods. Don't know exactly what they're for. We've got some nice carbon horns there as well. And lighting controller, Skymaster. So this is the typical one. This I don't know what it's for, but it looks like it may be for the afterburner setup, if there is one. Normal air stuff here, which we don't use much of it. And then the normal hardware package from Skymaster. So we've got some tank fittings. Those are too small, so we will be switching the tank fittings to larger size. These are the flap actuating arms. And then we've got the elevator receiver portions and all of our servo mounts. So normal Skymaster hardware package. All right, so it's time to open up the massive box. This is really going to put things in perspective. So we'll just cut all the tape first and then lay it down and pull the top off the box. Oh my gosh. Just flip it right over. We're going to have a burning party. All right, and that's a nice piece of foam too. Really? Oh yeah. We're going to keep that. There it is. Wow. All right, so we're going to just pull a bunch of the packing material out, kind of get things exposed here. As suspected, we have a bunch of the surfaces in here. So we've got our vertical stabs, so rudders. That kind of gives you an idea of the scheme. Very, very nice. Our elevators or horizontal stabs. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it's like the Millennium Falcon.
Oh my lord. Look at how big.
Okay, so as we go through this, we're basically just making sure we take a look through everything. Like we've got a gear plate here, which is just kind of tucked in there. So if you're unboxing something like this, you do want to make sure you're checking over and under all the pieces of foam, our nose cone. Really nice packing job on this. The delicate parts of this airframe are basically here and here, which they've protected very well with the built-up foam, and then the front and back here with the same type of idea. So, all right, we got tail hook, and looks like the antenna pod, radar pod, or whatever on the front, ventral fins, and we got some tail cones. Wow. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to slide this box over a little bit. We'll get our table set up. Then we're going to pull the rest of the packing off so we can lift this fuselage up and onto the table, our normal procedure, and then we will start pulling the bubble wrap off the Millennium Falcon, or F14. All right, so let's slide this over. I think I can just do that. And then you should be able to pull that off, I think, right? All right, so she's up on the table. We're going to open up our other surfaces first here and take a quick look at those. There she is. So the Aces scheme, this one has a lot of meaning to the owner, and it's a very cool scheme. Very bright. The red is really nice. And construction wise, so obviously on this one we've got a light back there, right there. It looks like the rudder is internal, is how it's going to be mounted. And there's a shot of the construction. So again, very nice light construction. We've got carbon in all the layup. We've got laminated aero or foam former work, and looks great. So I'm assuming on this one, because I've got a blind nut right here or a pass-through right there, we're going to have a bolt holding this on and probably a clamp holding the carbon rod on. So very nice. Okay, so we'll open up the other vertical stab just to inspect it like always. Should basically be a match to the other one. So no wing bags in this kit. I'm surprised. And there's our other one. So we've got a white light on this guy and a red light there. So forward red, rear white. And exactly the same setup as our other one, except a whole lot more wire for the lights. Okay, we'll take a look at our horizontal stabs here. Give them a quick look over. All right. And that's big. Look at the size of that. That's like the wing of some aircraft, right? Crazy. So everything is typical Skymaster here. So we've got our aluminum coated receiver ports, which the servo directly plugs into. We've got our aluminum shaft here as well, which is keyholed. So that's the locking mechanism for this for the quick release. So there's the top side there, beautiful detail on it, and the underside. And like normal, we'll open up number 2 just to inspect it. All right, and other surface is a match. Couple notes here. We've got 3 layers of maybe 1/8 inch aircraft ply, maybe 1/4 inch. I don't know. It's quite thick. It's basically the final thickness of all that is about as thick as that shaft. So maybe 1/2 inch or so. So a lot of structure, it looks like, in there. And then if you give it some gentle squeezes, you can kind of feel what's going on in here. So it looks like there's a whole bunch of structure in this area, and then a nice big piece that comes back here. Very nice. All right, so it's time for the fuselage. This may take a while, so we're probably going to do this in fast forward.
Yep.
Let's open this thing up. Holy crap. Look at the size of that thing. Oh my gosh.
And then they belly wrapped it. They must have.
Imagine the molds for this thing.
No.
Like,
That's one.
you have a mold that's like 10 feet long.
So there's a top and a bottom. But that's,
Oh my gosh.
imagine the prep work of that.
Jeepers.
A big prep work
Holy.
together.
Oh, look at this. It makes that SU look like a toy.
Yeah.
Especially once that nose gets bolted on. All right, so we've got all the packaging unwrapped from the massive F14, and boy, is this thing ever impressive. Just a beautiful plane. It's pretty unique being able to build this one and having built one of the smaller versions, just to see the differences and the changes. A lot of it's the same. I do like all their lenses that they did. We ended up doing those on the previous one. The gear on this thing is huge. Here's my hand. There's the shaft. The shaft is like 1 3/4 inches, 2 inches probably. Just massive. The actuating system on the wing sweep is an entire motor assembly, and it looks like there is, here we go, a power lead right there. So we need to do a little bit of research on that guy, but super impressive. This thing is huge. So there's a shot of the back here. So we've got our air brake, which is all functioning as well. We've got our pipes just laid in there. You can see there the pipe tunnel and everything. If you look far forward, there's a little bit of carbon on that former work there, right where the wing attaches. Very nice. Super cool. So that is the F14 fuselage. Let's put some of this stuff together and see her all assembled. It may take a while. We're going to bolt the nose on, put our surfaces on, our wings on, or at least one of the wings, and get a picture with this thing sort of assembled. All right, so there is the plane put together. We're going to do a bit more putting together here and put it on its gear, but oh my gosh, it is gigantic. So the only thing lengthwise that we're missing is the tail cones, but this will give you some perspective. There we are. It's huge, huge. It's going to be really hard to share this on camera. The SU, the Skymaster SU that we put together, I mean, that's an outstanding big plane, but I'm 6 feet tall, and this is 6 feet, and that's the back of the plane right there. Yeah. It's unbelievable how big this thing is. And it's crazy that this comes in under 100 pounds. So outstanding. So this is, whew. We're going to do some more pictures and stuff. We're going to drop the gear. So we need to bolt the nose on a little bit firmer because I've only got one bolt holding the nose on. Once that's done, we're going to drop the gear, get this thing on the ground, and just get some shots of it on the ground. This is outstanding. The back cockpit here too, it's nice because it's a different cockpit than the front. So it's more scale, right?
Because it's the rear.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Remember in the movie?
Yes, yeah. So the rear cockpit is totally different. You've got all the fuses and stuff. The fuses right there that he was trying to look through. I'm thinking about Maverick. Yeah, so that's kind of cool to see too. Another little note here that I just noticed as I was talking my way through this. The wing actuator, really cool system. So basically you've got a 12-volt motor back there. This is the lead that operates the motor. But what you've got here is you've got 2 different access points. So this is going to operate, and the backside there's a bell crank. So there's a shaft that comes through with an arm. So if we were extending these wings right now, that bell crank here would actually turn, and what it's doing is it's pulling the front of the wings towards the center, and it's going to be pushing the back of the wings out. So we've got 2 points of contact here, which is really good. Puts a lot less stress on your actual pivot point right here. That's a really well thought out design. The smaller one just has linear actuators from this point right here, so all that force is on that one linear actuator. This is great. Wonderful, wonderful design. Hard to convey on camera how massive this aircraft is, but if you can see me, as far as perspective goes, it is unbelievable how big this thing is. So crazy. It's probably gonna fly like a baby, I don't know, baby beluga whale. It's gonna be a really easy flyer. Just gorgeous. The detail, the size it's breathtaking. I know that sounds cheesy probably, but it's nuts. So that's the unboxing of the Skymaster F14. Some really cool details on this plane. We are going to have a ton of fun building this aircraft. I won't get into all the details that I've noticed in this video. We'll get into that as we go through the build process, but just a suggestion for you guys, don't forget to check out the lighter side of RC After Dark. What the After Dark is it's a separate channel, and we do live streams here from the shop for about 2 hours every 2 weeks, and you get to see a lot of the stuff well before it's actually released on YouTube. The other cool thing with the After Dark channel is you get the opportunity, if you're on while we're doing our live stream, you can communicate with us and ask questions, and it's just a fun time. So definitely encourage you to check out that channel. There's a link down below. And don't forget to subscribe to follow along with the build series of this amazing machine. So thanks guys for watching the unboxing of the Skymaster XL F14, and we'll see you in the next video.